We are live over on Twitch. We are streaming and recording. Here comes the music.
Swiping, I like blinging, I like shining, I like $1 billion kills. Where's the X? Bitch, I'm flying. I like those big fat Minakawas, the ones that look like blocks. I like going to my builders, fill their hangars with square rocks. I like contracts with my contacts when they want to give me stuff. I like rolling on my cores, pippin stats and max and buffs. They call me Queen Kawari, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than New Caldaria, micro warper us. Start to hop at the blue, jump in the feed, neon gas core, slapped on the hood, popping off missiles as far as I can. Intense max and avoiding the scan. X-type turns free savvy, yo, snuggly just like Mario. Yeah, call me Kawaii, yo, and I run this ship with Taylor. Though, damn, Batman District in the net. Skills high, you know I'm getting good. Hot, drop, lock, and range. Oh, who's our Santa? What's his name?
Well, her name is Kawari, and so we call her Special K, Pubstar. I don't know if you are aware of that. That's my co-CEO and our corp B1G, Big. So it's kind of turned into our theme song of the corp, and then it's also kind of turned into the thing that I play when I'm here and Rambo's not here, even though the two of them made it together. Anyway, it's another week. Here we are. All kinds of things broke loose in the last 7 to 8, 9 days inside of EVE. We're going to talk about those, the world of EVE Echoes. We actually got a dev Q&A on Friday. The dev Q&A has a lot of interesting stuff in it, so we're going to cover every square inch of that. Get a mine. And we have some special secret things that dropped inside of the game. No, I have not had time to do my magic with Photoshop yet, so we won't see anything specific that I'm going to drop image-wise, although I have the details, and we will bring those to you as we roll along. So, I'm Taylor Rick. It's Echoes of New Eden. No Rambo this week. He's on vacay, so as it always goes, anytime Rambo's not here, that's when interesting shit happens. So be prepared for a stellar patch come Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and maybe even a two in a row Q&A for Friday for us to cover next weekend while he's gone, because he'll be gone next weekend as well. So that's just the way it rolls. Anytime Rambo's gone, interesting shit happens. So vice versa, it happens with me as well. So anyway. So yeah, we'll have all that and more as we roll along here. I'm going to bring up my notes as we get started. Rip. They should have already been brought up, but they weren't. So such is life. All right, let's get right into the first thing I wanted to cover was the dev Q&A. There's actually, I know I had one job and I couldn't do it. There's actually quite a bit in this week's dev Q&A. It is the first one of 2024, so therefore it's the best one so far of 2024. Also, one of the things I want to make sure consider your suggestion is going to be something we cover too. But this is funny. I have to share this, and maybe we'll be able to share some more things like this moving forward. Now that Dame is not necessarily doing the constant Rick's, yeah, exactly, doing the constant kill of the week or kill of the month kind of thing. But look at this one. Ouch. For those of you listening later on the podcast and maybe not watching the YouTube channel, that kill mail is a 25.8 billion Atron 2 integrated, integrated, and had a Morris Rata Sunset core in it. I can guess that this thing was probably killed going between nullsec and lowsec on a gate, and a Lancer got him. I mean, that's just my guess. I have no idea. Yeah, exactly. Laser kill. It's got to be a Lancer hitting that thing as he landed. I mean, ouch. if that doesn't ruin your fucking day, your integrated Atron 2 that should never die, based on how things have gone in the past, is suddenly dead. Anyway, everything can die, ladies and gentlemen. Everything can die. There's nothing safe in this game, and it should be that way. It really should be that way. Okay, let's get right into the dev Q&A. There's a lot here, and we'll start with. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly Rambo's reaction if you saw that kill. This is February 1st to March 8th. So what that means is they've completely just whitewashed, as the term goes, forgotten about the last 4 months of no Q&As. We're just going to start to slate clean. And they even say this in the post. It's hilarious. The new Eden weekly Q&A section returns irregularly. That's Keela's actual verbiage. So whether we get these once a week or once a month or once a quarter, who knows? Anyway, let's get into the Q&A. Will the Sleeper Core rerun this year? And the answer is there are plans to make the Sleeper Core available again. In the future, we will optimize the way to purchase cores with the aim of making it easier for capsuleers to obtain the old cores without the long wait. I hope that means Concord, and it doesn't mean these special side stores where right now I think the Death Wish core, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Death Wish core is in there right now, or Dark Halo. One of those ones is in the side area inside the store where you can go and get, not with Concord points, but just with straight up R. So I hope they kind of start to put more things into the Concord store, more option boxes. So like maybe you can get like a Battleship nanocore box from the Concord store and then pick which type of actual box you're going to get. Like, do I want to get a Dark Halo box? Do I want to get a Sleeper box? Do I want to get a we need way more of those things to be available throughout the year. I understand the need for breaking it up though. Like you want certain times of the year when they release the Ascension core, certain times of the year when they released, well, now they're just giving away the Illusionary Ghost ones. But I understand breaking that up. That gives you kind of another added incentive for during that time period if there's something that you want to log in and get it. But it's got to be more a better cadence anyway for some of these cores that are highly specialized that you kind of need in certain cases. Like I hope it's not like 2 years until the Dragon Chant core comes around again. That would be, or how many years is it between like this? It's the year of the dragon for Chinese New Year. So is it going to be like 4 more? Because then we have like after that, it's like the rabbit, then turtle, then monkey maybe. So is it going to be like 4 years until we get dragon cores again? I don't know. We'll see. Question number 2. Will any Yang Jung content be released this year? This must be Benzie deciding to come back into the game and just ask the question again since the dev Q&A is back. Do you know of anybody who actually wants more Yang Jung ships? Is there anybody, like the 25 guys in the audience right now, do any of you want more Yang Jung ships? Are you one of the guys who's actually asking NetEase for that shit? Nobody wants that. Nobody has decomposer skills. Nobody wants those things. Yeah, we want T3 cruisers. We want Marauders. We want more specialized E-War. We don't want Yang Jung. I like how they answer this, though. There are plans to introduce some ships at certain tonnages and new Yang Jung weapons, but it's not a complete ship tree that contains frigate to supercarrier. Let's break that down for a minute. And we're just gonna be in La La Land for a moment and pretend that we can actually take them at their word of what they say. They say there are plans to introduce some ships at certain tonnages and new Yang Jung weapons. New Yang Jung weapons, not ships. And it won't complete the tree. So so I mean, That's a really tricky way of saying we're not going to introduce Yangjung ships, but we are going to introduce Yangjung ships. But we're also going to introduce some weapons. So we're going to have more decomposers. I mean, for what, though? I don't know. Anyway, it's a weird way to answer that. Obviously, we know there's going to be new ships coming this year. If nothing else, we know Titans are coming. The 4th anniversary, August, is kind of what we're slated for that. I don't know if that's really going to happen. I don't know the timing on it. It's just mostly speculation, a little bit of guesswork, and a little bit of what the devs like Cloud have told me in terms of what their release cadence is, right? So their time frame is. So it seems to me it's a very safe bet to say Titans by August at this point. But anyway, yeah, the Yangjung ships I could care less for. I do want some new destroyers, some new cruisers, some new battle cruisers. Battle cruisers haven't really had any new ships for a while. We've seen a lot of frigates, cruisers, battleships, the Navy issues, all that, but nothing for the battle cruisers. So that would be interesting to see. Next question: will the Navy issue Dreadnought be released? Now, so let's clarify a couple things real quick. We already have like what we call T1 Dreadnoughts in the game. I would kind of consider the Navy issues to be like a T2 Dreadnought, and the Lancers really being like more of a Tech 3 almost, because the Navy issue Dreadnoughts came out long before the Lancers in EVE Online. Here, though, it's totally backwards. So we've got the regular Dreads, and now we've got the Lancer versions of those Dreads that are out without the Navy issue Dreads. I think if they were to release a third type of Dread right now, I think we'd all be a little upset. I think it'd be a little confusing. And frankly, I'm not sure it's needed at this point. I think the way they rolled out the Lancers was pretty damn good. The overall damage profile of them, even without the DD weapon, is great. So I don't know. How are you guys liking the Lancers, by the way? Yeah, Lancer T2.5. Yeah, I mean, I like the Lancers. I think they did them really, really, really. Oh, I love this Orca killing a Barghest. I just saw that. 17 billion kill an Orca. That guy's having a bad day. Just quit now. You can't get anywhere. Anyway, so I don't know if it's not that we don't need any more caps, Bradrick, but I don't think we're cap heavy either. We don't. There are certain caps that are kind of missing. So anyway, but they say will the Navy issue Dreads be released? Was the question. Back to the answer. The answer is we don't have such a plan in the next few months. That's not a no. Shit. The Lancer Dreadnought might be a good option for Capsuleers with higher defense and firepower than regular Dreadnoughts. Of course it is. So, but not in the next few months. That's a great answer. So shit. Who knows? Maybe they'll drop next week. No, they won't. The next part of this is just like typical NetEase fashion. I love this. Like the very next question has the exact same question. They copied and pasted the question. It's a double. It's will the Navy issue Dreadnoughts be released? But their answer is for a totally different question. So we're going to play a little game and try to figure out the question that was asked versus the answer that was given. And here's the answer that was given. It would not be adjusted to 0.4. The current decrease in ISK price is primarily caused by two reasons. One, the use of AI is increasing and there is almost no consumption in high-sec, leading to an increase in global production. Two, the firepower of ships have been increased over several patches, such as from strike battleship to carriers, supercarriers, while the defense of NPCs has not been increased, resulting in a substantial increase in rewards per unit of time. We will start to introduce a series of economic adjustments from March onward, including increasing the cost of AI, increasing the difficulty of cosmic anomalies with high levels but low difficulty, and further plans. That's a lot of that's a very loaded answer, and we don't know what the question was. Obviously, the question has to do something with economics, inflation, and that was how they answered it. I don't know what the rest of it does. Well, they're trying to get Plex prices down, Frederick. They are actually trying to get some stability there where Plex prices can come down. So, and that's in part what they're, yeah, stock up on your AI crystals now. So yeah, because it's going to get more expensive to run. Yeah, you're right, Noor. They probably do. Noor says they need to bring in the economists from CCP in Norway to help. They probably do at this point. So let's break that down a little bit. So the use of AI is increasing, and there's almost no consumption in high sec, leading to an increase in global production. That's an increase of global production of ISK. Therefore, the value of ISK goes down. Therefore, the costs essentially rise because ISK isn't worth as much. So that's how you get inflation. I don't necessarily know if AI is completely responsible for that. I'm not sure if if you can say it's totally responsible for that, but I do like what they mentioned here, adjustments from March onward. So that's a good one of Elon. They are going to have a balance patch coming up. I thought it was going to be April. My guess was April, but I hadn't really heard when this next balance was going to happen. But apparently, it's starting in March, and I don't know if it's going to be one, large drop all at once, or if it's going to be slowly over a couple of weeks, little changes here and there, or what. But that is coming, and then they officially said right here, economic adjustments in March. So we'll want to be mindful of that moving forward. Next question. Will the next patch make adjustments to the balance of regular ships, especially those at the cruiser tonnage? The answer is there will be adjustments to some of the regular ships this month. Okay, so there's our 100%. We are going to be getting a actual balance adjustment or balance patch of some kind this month for regular ships, not capitals, regular ships. We are considering a comprehensive adjustment to the ship research and variant model system to reduce the number of ships, lower usage restrictions, enrich fitting strategies, and enhance the characteristics and playability of each ship. Hold on, wait a second. We are considering a comprehensive adjustment to the ship research and variant model system to reduce the number of ships. I'm just going to scratch my head on that one. We need more ship types in the game, not less. I don't understand what the fuck they mean by that. I don't understand what they mean by that. I'm hoping what they mean lower usage restrictions. Lower usage. What the fuck? Lower usage restrictions. I don't know. Enrich fitting strategies. Okay. I get that part. Enhance characters and playability of each ship. I'm hoping what they're trying to say there is spread out the number of different types of ships that people are using by changing up how they're used so that we don't wind up with, the meta always goes towards one specific ship type, like a Mercurial or, for whatever, speed kind of thing, or Typhoons for missiles, Rattlesnakes for missiles, and drones. So maybe they're trying to balance that out, and maybe what they mean by that is a wider number of ships. But why would you say reduce the number of ships? That doesn't make any sense to me. I know Nessiville, they don't play. I don't get it. You're right from that standpoint that they don't play, but they do play with the data. They do look at the data, and I've said this before. They make these kinds of decisions on things based off of the data. They know everything about what happens in the game. They might not understand the consequences of it, but what they do understand is where the data is moving. What's the usage of APOC strikers versus Megathron strikers? What's the usage of the Yangzheng ships versus other faction ships? How much trit is sitting in everybody's hangars right now at this moment? That's a number that they know. And so all of those things they look at, and they watch that data, and they look for trends, and they make adjustments based off of all of that. So it takes them time to make those adjustments. I mean, you're not wrong, Mia. You're right, Bradrick. You're not wrong. They could axe a bunch of ships and no one would care because they're useless. And maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know. We'll see. That one's kind of an interesting one to me. Next question. I suggest adding more gameplay or increasing the output of planetary production. The planetary materials are too expensive right now. The PI is too high, as we say. The answer is we intend to increase the speed of moon mining for both corporations and individuals. We are working on this specific plan right now. That answer is from a different game, probably Infinite Lagrange, because corporations don't mine moons, or PI. Individual players do. So that's a weird answer. And there is no moon mining in Eve Echoes. They've talked about wanting to introduce moon mining for a very, very long time. So we'll see what they do. I don't think that means moon mining. I think they mean the planetary materials there. And if there's a way for corporations to be able to harvest PI in their system with some module or some add-on that goes on to the Citadel or even a CorpTech tree thing, I think that'd be great. I'm sure lots of corporations right now have things set up where if you have an outpost in your sovereignty, then that PI goes to the corp or some of it goes to the corp or something, right? So I'd love to be able to see us have those be privately held if the corporation had a way to collect PI, but it doesn't any other way. So yeah, I don't know. PI is a big bottleneck, and again, that's part of the increase, or obviously the inflation of everything. A lot of that has to do with the PI. Why is PI suddenly more and more scarce? More of it's needed. Why are the costs going up? Well, that's solely because of capitals that Bradrick just said a few moments ago that we don't need more of. More capitals in the game, whether it's another Dreadnought, whether it's a Titan or whatever, is going to cause that sink of materials to increase even more. So I think it is actually a good idea to look at the one mineral well, there's two mineral inputs right now that are highly restricted. The number one that everybody uses is PI. It's only X amount per hour, and that's it. You can't do anything to increase it. But on the other end is the cobalt materials, which, I mean, they're useless. Obviously you need them for integrated fighters, you need them for blops, but you can't get enough of them in any kind of volume to make it, make it a possibility to even build them. So they're just too expensive. So those two bottlenecks need to be kind of looked at and addressed, especially if more ships are going to be coming out that require them. I mean, Morphite is also high, but you can mine that, right? You can speed up, and there's ways to go about that. You could just go into an NPC area and just go and snipe all the Morphite. Take a group of guys out there and go for it. So that's a problem you can actually solve with just people. You can't do that with PI, and you really can't do that with the cobalt materials. I don't care how many people you have in a group in cobalt. You're not going to farm enough. So. Okay, the next question. The passive ballistic prediction of artillery cover, which adjusts accuracy fall off to optimal range, is not shown on the screen. Is this a display bug, or is there actually no bonus? The answer is it's not a bug. The bonus does apply. It's like real-time calibration when attacking. However, this mechanism is rather complicated and has a high learning cost for players, and the gameplay build difference around it is not significant. In the future, we will optimize this skill. So basically, it's like your DPS from Bombard. It's not going to show up, but it's there. You'll see it in your hits, but it's not going to show up in your well, maybe it does kind of show up in your no, it doesn't show up in your DPS. It doesn't. Anyway, pretty sure it doesn't. I don't know. I never look anymore because I always thought that it didn't. So it is what it is. One more page. It's a lot of Q&A, guys. This is a big Q&A one. When will the next batch of purple cores be made available for exchange? As we know, some purple cores can be exchanged, some cannot. They change it up a little bit. It should always... My philosophy on the cores is they should 100% always be able to be exchanged for whatever's relevant or current in the store right now, and you should be able to sell the fucking things. Everything in this game should be tradable and sellable. There should be no clone bound, but I'm not an Eddie's developer, so whatever. Their answer is the exchange of the 6-core series, including Neon Gas for capital ships, Gold Age, Cyber X, Starbeat, Silver Waltz, and Dragon Chant, is expected to be made available in late March. So there's a good. That's all the major ones, the big ones that have special benefits anyway, even for capital ships coming in terms of exchange. That's nice. Yeah, Thermomagnetic is a great core too. That'd be great to have that one back in there. Shouldn't the Concord Pass Shop's core exchange lineup be updated with a new batch? And the answer is we are optimizing the gameplay and shop lineup of the Concord Pass, which is expected to be updated in March or April. So a couple of different questions they highlighted here about the Concord store, the Concord Pass, and as it relates to cores. Even in one of the previous questions in terms of more cores being made available. So obviously there's going to be some emphasis this month into April on the Concord Pass. That's good. That's good. That looks really good, Nessival. He just posted a picture of a Whataburger number 5. God, cheeseburger sounds really good right now. I shouldn't be eating a cheeseburger, but God, that sounds good. Bad, Nessival, bad. All right, last one. Is the skill at level 45 of the mining enhancement implant perpetual? Will there be new mining implants in the future? And the answer is the effect of level 45 is a temporary enhancement, not perpetual. The gameplay design of mining implants is a challenge, and we will not consider introducing new mining implants in the near future. Okay, that's that. So level 45, I don't even know what that temporary effect is. Anybody know? I don't know what it is. But yeah, I wish you could buy Lazarus units on the Concord Pass as well. I wish there's a lot of things you can get via the Concord Pass, because some of my tunes have a lot of those points banked up with nothing. There's nothing I need for them. I transfer them, something. I mean, but oh well, I don't need more chips. All that kind of shit. All right, let's move on. While I'm on the main Echoes page, let's just shake it up a little bit and let's do these suggestions, because these are always hella fun. And we're just going to go from the latest and scroll up. Muffin Bias. Oh boy. Please give us bombs. Oh, I know this is Muffin. Please give us bombs for stealth bombers. There are some similar mechanics already in game, and it would help greatly diversify the tactics available for players for small and large fights. I agree. We need actual bombs. They even say it when you level up. I forget if it's T8 or T9, but it actually says when you level up, one of the things that you get at that level now is bombs, but you don't. So that's too bad. Right above that, Argo 2 says, give us a roadmap. So a little update for you, because I heard from, I think it was Keela, not Cartley, but Keela. There will no longer be Trello roadmaps moving forward. However, what there will be is the graphical roadmap like we got in the fourth quarter of last year that highlighted when we were going to get Calvala, and a few, I forget what some of the other things that were on that graphic or where that graphic is at, but they literally highlighted like 4 things coming over that late fourth quarter from October, November, and December, right? They're going to start to do it that way. Since we don't have one right now, then that means probably nothing, major in the next few months other than these balance patches we already know about. The big stuff is going to be for the 4th anniversary in August and whatever comes ahead of that, because we seem to always have something around the May, June timeframe too. We get a balance patch in the spring, March, April. We have something else that kind of hits that's like when the Science Seas hit, it was March, April, and then we had balance patch around that time too. And then in May we had the cruisers, and then we had then we had the big anniversary and all that for that year anyway. I forget when that was. Was that last year? That was 2 years ago, maybe. I don't know. It all runs together at this point, how far back Sciences were. I really wish they'd stop putting those fucking things in boxes. That's like the worst thing ever. One time is fine. One time is fine. I'll take a new ship in a box, not a Titan, obviously, but one time. But then after that, forget about it. So, anyway, so that's how roadmaps are going to be brought to us from here on out. Duco Pest says, if you're planning on making AI running more expensive, please fix the bugs when there are connection issues. The script goes dead and either kills your ship or makes it limp running AI doing nothing. I don't know. If you don't like AI, don't run it. Captain Rockhard says, talk about Titans and releasing them. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some talk coming, buddy. That's not a suggestion. That's like a do this. Here's one that got 14 upvotes and 7 downvotes from Uncle Backrub. What a freaking name. Add a 4th mid slot to Karur. It's an awkward spot where Succubus outclasses it as a laser frig and currently doesn't feel like it has a purpose. 4th mid could potentially make it a viable option and is in line with the other ships and the Blood Raider faction. Doesn't that have a CyberX core you can get for it to give it an extra slot? Yeah, exactly. So there's your answer, Uncle Backrub. Get good. Okay. Somebody else said make all nanos tradable. Yep, of course. Of course. And I'm going to scroll through one more. Here's one that has 31 upvotes and 2 downvotes. Make insurance ISK-based. Plex is getting silly expensive. Ruins the gameplay. Feels like work instead of a game. Make indie good. Okay, so if you're going to make a suggestion, don't follow it with a statement. That doesn't help anybody. Chad, 92 Saxton. But anyway, make insurance ISK-based. I would change insurance like whole cloth, like the whole damn thing. I would completely change it. And sure, I'd make it ISK-based. That's the better way to do it instead of these. That still is ISK-based. No, it's Plex. It's actually got to buy the Plex first, and then that fucks up things. Yeah, so no, just make it ISK-based. So that part I get, that part I like, but I would change a whole bunch of other stuff about insurance. So, and yeah, there's not very many that have a high number of people voting for them, more than 30. Well, here's one. MaxiPad 3657. Lawanda. Make POS low slots unable to be unloaded after armor has been stripped and set. Not shields, but armor. I really like this suggestion, actually. It gets 68 upvotes and 14 downvotes. So, yeah, I like that suggestion, actually. As soon as something's reinforced, once it's in hull, yeah. I mean, not shields though. That's a bit much. But I do like the once you've taken it to hull from armor. I like that one. That works for me. Put it into offensive mode. Then they should stop the filters and chat. It is not built for defense. It's built for defense in terms of the structures, but it's built for offense in terms of just the way the ships are designed and the amount of damage output there is. There's no defensible position on the from some of the damage output anyway. So that part I don't like. So all right, that's our dev Q&A. That is our consider your suggestions. Let's talk about MEOW. And BRRR real quick. There's a little bit of news there. Obviously, that war started before last week's show. Everything is happening down between Period Basis and Faith of Bolus. I don't have like a ton of detail about what's going on, but I do know that it's basically MEOW versus BRRR and their renters, along with Exodus, EXDS. So, so that's kind of... I don't know. Someone referred to it as like GenFed 3.0, and I know that'll really piss off Doro. That's why I put it in the announcement. But I mean, it's not really gen fed. It's just BRRR and their renters. Yeah, one is one Citadel that's already been in Tosis already. But I know there was 3 or 4 in whole, and there was one super on the BRRR side that died. The other day, yeah, right, Bradrick. The other day, there was a pretty large fleet that was put up. I don't know what the actual numbers were on grid, but there were BRRR did field, and their coalition is called GRAA, GRAAAAAA with an exclamation point. I have no idea. Yeah, 8 holes defended last night. Okay, cool. Thanks for the update. Appreciate that, killers. But they did lose a super, and they had 18 supers, 30 some odd dreads, 30 some odd carriers, but there wasn't an engagement from that. So I'm not sure. Just GA with no R. Oh, it's just, so that's even worse. Like Klingon Gok. Like, I saw the super kill mill. It was one of the, I don't know if it was a BRRR guy or an Exodus guy, but it was on that end. I liked the write-up that was done, by the way. They talk about timers defended, not a lot of ships killed, yada, yada, yada. Oh, by the way, we did lose a super. That was unfortunate. like the downplay on the loss of a super was pretty good. Losing a super is painful, man. That's painful. Does anybody in the chat know why it got started in the first place? Was it BRRR picking a fight, or was it MEOW picking a fight? Because no one's been able to tell me with a straight face. I kind of thought it was MEOW was bored, but I'm not sure. Hey, Sarah. Long story short, MEOW started farming some of the renter ships for kills. Well, yeah, I knew that part. Left by himself, got killed. Ah, that's how the super. Real smart. Yeah, there are a couple of really good videos going around on it, so I don't have a link handy. I don't know if anybody can post a couple of those, but there's been a little bit of fun assault from some of that in some of those videos and that I've seen on Discord, but I haven't seen a whole lot on Reddit for it yet. I know CRB was down there for that fight and was kind of doing some third-party killing, picking off battleships here and there with like a small 10, 12-man squad. It wasn't anything huge. And I think that led some folks to thinking that CRB was hired by BRRR. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think it's true. But they love to be in there third-partying shit and killing whatever they can. So, I mean, can you blame them? All right, that's it for the MEOW GenFed thing. I'll get some more details for next week. Damon was looking over some stuff too, and we'll kind of play with that and see what we can get. That leads us to, unless anybody else has any more they want to add to it, that leads us to our last little bit here with some interesting things in the game. So, yeah, what is that? Oh, that's the Yang Zhong. Yeah. Station walking coming soon. I like that tag. Who is that? I like that tag. Can't tell. Bunch of dots. Anyway. Some of this is going to be stuff that maybe is just Q&A testing. Some of this could wind up being like real launched in the game kind of stuff. I've picked out the ones that to me stand out as the ones that feel like they are coming. But all of this stuff is in the code of the game right now. So the first one, these names could change too, just like they did with the Lancers, how we kind of saw what the Lancers looked like beforehand, but then afterwards they were actually corrected to what they were. So these things could change. Just take all this with a grain of salt. As fun. Gigafactory Level 1 reduces the resource consumption of hangar facility construction. So that could wind up being the structure that's needed in order to build a Titan. Theory was, moving forward, when Titans come out, we would have to have a T5 Citadel and not the T4s that we have now, which are not downgradable. I messed that up. I can admit when I was wrong. I thought they were downgradable. They are not. So whatever. But it's actually in the game too. If you look at the corporation tech tree stuff, it talks about a T5 Citadel as well. Those effects will apply to a T5. So that part is in the game too. So I'm not sure yet where this lies, if we'll have to have a T5 and we'll also have to have a structure to build the Titans with, whatever. But it feels like that's the start anyway of an add-on. A Giga level factory level 1, reducing the resource consumption of hangar facility construction. So maybe it'll apply to everything. I don't know. The next one was Resource Refining Center level 1. And the description for that is the base's mineral resource output increases. To me, that reads like your scrapping will get more efficient. Right now, your max scrap rate is 555 is what, 61.5% or something? Well, you're right, Troopa. It's when you do have like a high level skill, and then you have like the tree, Corp Tech tree, and then you invest like billions and billions and billions, and you go back and look at it. You don't save a single part for a carrier. You don't save a single part for a dread. You save like 8 parts for a vac. That's nice. You save 1 or 2 for a fax, but you save double-digit numbers for a super. I forget what the numbers were. So if you are building a lot of those big ships, or trying to build a lot of the bigger ships continuously, and even Lancers, because Lancers are like 4 dreadnoughts combined almost, then that becomes kind of you're doing that over and over and over again. That becomes a big enough thing to kind of look at, but it's not for everyone. That's a big ISK sink to get there. But it does look like maybe refining the scrap metaling will be able to get over 61.5%. So that'd be cool. I'm for that. I am all for that. You need to answer these. You need these to answer questions on vague NetEase content. What? I'm just picking up on that. I have to explain what you mean, Nuzzle. Sorry. Next one is Small Ship Research Institute Level 1. Reduces the material consumption required for small ship construction. Then they do the same thing for Medium Ship Research Institute. Then Large Ship Research Institute. Those 3 sound less like a... Oh, yeah, like rolling dice for like possibly, maybe. Yeah, exactly. That's yeah. I'm just getting a Magic 8 Ball. But those 3 sound to me like corporation tech tree add-ons. The Corp Tech stuff is a little confusing if you don't actually like put some ISK into it and figure out what it does. It'll make you think that it's going to affect certain things, but then it doesn't. It affects others. Like for instance, one on the capital components one, it's in the glory column. It doesn't affect anything to do with the actual capital parts, but just the final assembly, just reducing the number of parts. And the way it's worded makes it seem like it does, but it doesn't. And it's not until that next one in Sanctum, the high expensive mother, where that one will actually reduce material consumption and individual capital parts yet again, because you have one called ship design utilization that actually reduces lowers that efficiency number so that you use less minerals, but it affects everything. That one, the ship design utilization, actually affects capital parts, structures, rigs, the whole 9 yards. So to me, those last 3, the small ship research, the medium ship research, and the large ship research, all sound like corporation tech coming, whereas the Gigafactory and the resource refining center sound like add-ons, additional add-ons, which of course you'll need more power for your T4s to be able to do that. That's kind of a pain in the ass, if you ask me. I'm out of power in multiple citadels. It sucks. Okay. That's it for what could be coming as secret stuff on the back end. Hydrate. Looking over my notes, and that's like about it. That's like about all I got. Cool stuff. So that's gonna make like a short show. Rambo's gonna be mad. We need like another 15 minutes here. Where's the commercials? Cue the commercials. I don't have any. We're not really doing the commercials like we used to do them before, so no new ones. So with that, let's just open it up. Anybody want to ask some questions? Well, last 10 minutes or so, we'll do. Let somebody come up onto the thing and get into the any shush. This is all shush propaganda. What do you mean? The whole show is shush propaganda. Silent always wins. You know what's funny about that? Silent didn't make that up. Herzes made that up, and that's the one thing I agree with him on. So, who banana? Where banana? Who banana? Why banana? So go ahead and raise your hand if you want to come up to the stage and talk, and we will we'll do that. Let's see. I'm gonna go. There we go. Anybody? And if nobody, we'll just end the show. It's all good. Give someone a few minutes to make up their mind. Nothing wrong with a short show. All right, all good, guys. We will just call it. We'll call it what it is. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. We'll see you all here next week. We'll have another show next week. I don't know if Damon will be with me or one of the other guys will be with me, but Rambo will be out, so maybe it'll be quick then too. Appreciate you guys coming, and fly dangerous.